Starting in the name of Almighty Allah, who is the most merciful and generous. Assalamu alaikum. Myself, Zaira Fatma, with a roll number BP1650264, group number 11. The chapter of my presentation is fluid and electrolytes, and topic of my presentation is disorder in volume regulation. The content I have to cover in this topic is sodium depletion, sodium access, diuretics, and fourth one is case study. Now, starting my topic by the introduction, that what is volume regulation, how the disorders in volume regulation can affect normal and healthy individuals' life. Kidneys are responsible to regulate the volume. As we all know that sodium resides in the extracellular fluid, so amount of total body sodium determine the extracellular fluid because sodium intake varies from 100 to 250 milliequivalent. Our body rely on kidneys to do adjustment in uric sodium excretion to maintain extracellular volume and tissue perfusion. आसान लफ्जों में अगर मैं कहूँ तो जो डाइटरी इनटेक है हमारा सोडियम का वो वेरी कर रहा होता है 100 to 250 मिली इक्विवेलेंट. नाउ इट इज द ड्यूटी ऑफ किडनी टू मेंटेन द अप्रोप्रिएट कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ सोडियम इन ब्लड. कैसे? अगर सोडियम की इनटेक बहुत ज़्यादा है तो ऑब्वियसली जो एक्सेस सोडियम है उसको बॉडी से एक्सक्रीट आउट करवाना है, और अगर सोडियम की इनटेक कम है तो उसको बॉडी में रिटेन करवाना है. तो अगर ये फंक्शन, ये वॉल्यूम रेगुलेशन किडनी सही से परफॉर्म ना करे, कोई किडनी के फंक्शन में इम्पेयरमेंट हो, तो इट विल डेफिनेटली लीड्स टू व्हाट डिसऑर्डर इन वॉल्यूम रेगुलेशन. Now, disorder in volume regulation is also termed as volume depletion, that is reduction of effective circulating volume in intravascular space. मीन्स कि इंट्रावेस्कुलर स्पेस में जो टोटल सर्कुलेटिंग वॉल्यूम है अब उसमें कमी आ रही है, उसमें रिडक्शन हो रही है. It is important to note down that volume depletion is different from dehydration because dehydration suggests that a water deficit. This term indicates the deficiency of water. But when we are talking about volume depletion, volume does not only depend only on the concentration of fluid but also on the concentration of electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and chlorine. Now, some major description about it. The serum sodium concentration cannot use to determine whether sodium depletion is present or not, since this value reflects both solids and water. Means के आप सिर्फ सीरम सोडियम कंसंट्रेशन को देख के इस चीज़ का अंदाजा नहीं लगा सकते कि पेशेंट में सोडियम वॉल्यूम डिप्लीशन हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा. वजह ये है कि वॉल्यूम डिप्लीशन इज द वैल्यू दैट रिफ्लेक्ट्स बोथ सॉल्यूट एंड वाटर, वेयर सीरम सोडियम कंसंट्रेशन ओनली indicates the value of sodium in the body. Similarly, if we make a comparison between dehydration and volume depletion, so we can say that dehydration can lead to hypernatremia, but in volume depletion there is both probability, whether hyponatremia and hypernatremia. But how? Let me explain this in a more broader term. अगर वॉल्यूम डिप्लीशन हो रहा है और बॉडी से सिर्फ फ्लूइड बाहर जा रहा है तो इट्स मीन के बॉडी में सोडियम की कंसंट्रेशन ज़्यादा होगी एंड इट विल लीड्स टू हाइपरनेट्रेमिया. बट अगर सोडियम भी फ्लूइड के साथ बॉडी से बाहर जा रहा है तो सोडियम की कंसंट्रेशन बॉडी में बहुत कम हो जाएगी एंड इट विल गिव राइज टू द कंडीशन ऑफ हाइपोनेट्रेमिया. सो वी कैन से दैट हाइपोनेट्रेमिया एंड हाइपोनेट्रेमिया कैन बोथ कोएक्सिस्ट विद वॉल्यूम डिप्लीशन. Now here are diagnostic clues that how can we diagnose or how can we assess the presence of volume depletion. I divide these diagnostic clues into the three main categories, that is signs and symptoms, physical examination, and laboratory testing. In signs and symptoms, we have salt cravings, excessive thirst, and dizziness. While in physical examination, we have invisibility of jugular vein, that is, jugular vein is present in our throat or neck region. Whenever there is occurrence of volume depletion, jugular vein become invisible. Secondly, we have postural tachycardia, that is increase in heart rate, and third, we have postural hypotension, that is sudden decline in the blood pressure of a person when he or she is standing in upright posture. In laboratory testing, we have blood test, creatinine test, and sodium electrolyte test. Now, Sodium depletion or hyponatremia is characterized with abnormally low concentration of sodium in body, and disorder in volume regulation cause sodium depletion. As we already mentioned previously, too much intake of water or too much excretion of water along with sodium cause sodium depletion in the body. Now, sodium excess may also result from disorder of volume regulation. Sodium excess or hypernatremia may result from lack of water intake, excessive loss of water as compared to sodium losses, excessive sodium intake or excessive sodium retention. Now, excessive sodium retention clearly tells us that there is some functional impairment in the kidneys, because kidney is now unable to excrete the excess sodium. That's why it retained back or absorbed back into the blood, leading to the excessive sodium retention. Then we have diuretics. Diuretics are used in the management of nephrotic edema. Now, what is nephrotic edema? Whenever there is a damage to the blood vessels of the kidneys that filter blood, so fluid accumulate in the body and it gives swelling in feet and ankle or around the eyes. We can say that edema is somehow inverse of volume depletion, because volume depletion में fluid body से बाहर जा रहा है, edema में fluid accumulation हुई है body के अंदर. Edema can safely remove with rapid diuresis without compromising systemic circulation, but patients should be monitored for development of orthostatic hypotension. Now, LJ anasarca, first I have to define that anasarca is the most severe type of edema, and it is characterized by general swelling of the whole body. It results from renal sodium, and water retention was initially treated with IV furosemide 60 mg twice daily and placed on low sodium, low fat, and high carbs diet. Now, next we have the case study. A 17-year-old girl presented to the emergency department with a complaint of anorexia, nausea, vomiting, and generalized weakness for past 3 days. She denied other medical problems and had not used any medication. On examination, her spine blood pressure was 105 per 70 mmHg with a pulse of 100 beats per minute. Her standing BP was 85 per 60 mmHg with a pulse of 100 beats per minute. She complained of feeling dizzy when she stood up. Her mucous membrane was dry, but her skin texture was normal. The jugular vein was flat, and peripheral or sacral edema was not present, and the laboratory blood test showed the following results: falling concentration of serum, sodium, potassium, chlorine, glucose, creatinine levels. Now, as we know that in order to resolve any case, we have to divide into subjective, objective assessment plan. Starting with the objective, I mentioned the chief complaints: anorexia, nausea, vomiting, and weakness. History is mentioned as past 3 days and presented to the emergency department. While the personal information of the patient include age 17, gender female, and allergies none. Moving towards the objective, we have vital signs of dizziness, flat jugular vein, supine blood pressure, and standing blood pressure. There is a clear difference that indicates orthostatic hypotension, and pulse of 100 beats per minute show tachycardia. In this lab report, on the right side, I mentioned normal values, and on the left side, I mentioned reported value of the patient, and we can clearly see the difference, or we can clearly make an idea that whether these values lie in the normal range or not. So there is somehow difference, somehow creatinine level and one level is elevated. Also, hemoglobin of the patient is elevated. We have to discuss the reason and its actual cause. Now, assessment. Signs and symptoms indicate volume depletion. Loss of gastric fluid due to vomiting and anorexia made it severe. Secondly, orthostatic changes in the blood pressure, increased pulse rate, flat jugular vein, dry mucous membrane, and dizziness indicates extracellular volume depletion. Third one, we have hypochlorite metabolic alkalosis. It is due to the gastric acidic content through vomiting. Increase in bun and creatinine ratio, it is due to decreased renal perfusion due to volume depletion and enhanced proximal tubular reabsorption. Means कि वॉल्यूम डिप्लीशन की वजह से रीनल परफ्यूजन भी डिक्रीज होती है और प्रॉक्सिमल टेबुलर रीअब्सॉर्प्शन एनहांस होती है. इसकी वजह से बन और क्रिएटिनिन का रेशियो इंक्रीज हो जाता है. देन वी हैव वॉल्यूम डिप्लीशन इंक्रीज रीनल बाइकार्बोनेट रीअब्सॉर्प्शन, एंड इन द लास्ट वॉल्यूम डिप्लीशन इंक्रीज द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ रेड ब्लड सेल्स. इसकी वजह ये है कि जब वॉल्यूम डिप्लीट हो रहा होता है तो नंबर ऑफ आरबीसीज पर यूनिट वॉल्यूम में ज़्यादा अपेयर होते हैं, उसकी वजह से हीमोग्लोबिन एलिवेटेड शो होता है लैब रिपोर्ट्स में. नाउ प्लान etiology of her vomiting should be sought out and removed, क्योंकि जब तक vomiting कंटिन्यू रहेगी तो आप उसको जो वॉल्यूम डिप्लीशन है उसको आप मैनेज नहीं कर पाओगे. पहले आपको मालूम करना है कि वॉमिटिंग किस वजह से होगी, अदर ड्यू टू फूड पॉइजनिंग और ड्यू टू एन इन्फेक्शन. Then normal saline should be administered to replenish the extracellular volume and improve tissue perfusion. Due to her severe orthostatic hypotension, 1 or 2 liters of fluid can be given over 2 to 4 hours. Patient monitoring is also required because subsequent date of infusion will depend on patient response and prevailing symptoms. The clinician should monitor her body weight, skin turgor, BP, jugular venous pressure, urine output, and urine chlorine concentration. In the last, thank you for listening or watching the whole presentation.